Hey Woods fans, how are you enjoying the Season 3? Well, I'm going to be giving away a Battle Pass, so if you want to enter this and get a free Season 3 Battle Pass, all you have to do is like this video, subscribe to my channel with notifications, comment something nice followed with your epic username, and then go to the description and follow my Twitter with notifications to be updated on who wins the giveaway. Yo, what is good guys? It's your boy Woods back with a new video, and in today's video we're going to be going over how you can get more arena points in Fortnite, since I know the new season did just come out, so everyone's going to be wanting to get their back up to Champions League to 7,000 points, because I know a lot of people got reset obviously when the season starts. So don't worry if you're intrigued on how you can go ahead and get more points efficiently and be able to reach 7,000 points and Champions League before anyone else does, then you might want to watch the whole entire video to soak up all them tips and get extra better. Also, make sure to drop a like on the video and subscribe if you are new, if you want to get better at Fortnite, as I'm always helping you guys improve. Also, if you are going to buy the Battle Pass, please make sure to go ahead and use code Woods in the item shop. It would help me out a lot. But anyways guys, let's go ahead and start to move into the first sort of clips and what you want to start to focus on. Now obviously I know the map did go ahead and get reset obviously because there's a lot of new landing spots that you guys want to go ahead and check out. However, if you have any old landing spots that are still available for you guys to use, I'd still advise using them. And now as you can see, what I did in this clip to go ahead and use to my advantage was as soon as I landed and when I was flying down to land, I was go ahead and constantly checking around me and having a look if anyone else was landing with me. Now this is a really big thing in Arena that if you want to go ahead and try and play aggressively, then it's a whole different ball game. But currently I'm going to go ahead and show you how to efficiently get arena points, but later on in the video I'll show you how to successfully go ahead and W key people and win. But for now we're going to be working on efficiency and actually getting all those arena points up just by playing kind of safe and passive. But moving forward, as you can see here, I found one of the new pumps. However, I personally didn't actually like the pump, so I actually went ahead and switched to my shotgun tack. And now you want to go ahead and use whatever gun you currently feel comfortable with. And as you can see there, it was only literally leaving the spawn where I came from, and I was already getting some arena points. So that's one tip that you guys want to go ahead and do. If you just loot up, and by the time you finish looting, you'll most likely have a bunch of points already, because lots of people are W keying and just testing out the new areas. As you can see, I found this kid, and one of the great, actual tips I actually had for this was I snuck up on the kid and crouched, walked up to him, and then I managed to get a nice spray up on him. And as you can see here, once you get in someone's box in the build fight, always get out of it. There's no point, even if you think you can out-aim them, never try and actually shoot them in the box. Get out of that box and then hold a wall on them and then edit them. The reason I won this fight, and a tip that you guys can go ahead and use, is if you ever see someone in an arena, always make sure you get the first shot off on them. So I saw that kid originally, and I didn't actually shoot him from afar. I made sure that I got closer up enough so that once I sprayed him, I could go ahead and push him immediately, giving him no time to shield up. So the massive tip here, if you want to improve in arena and get more kills, is always make sure you sneak up on someone and get that first shot off on them. And also when you get in a box, always make sure you're getting out of that box before you go ahead and fight them. Never fight them inside the box. And then if you ever have a good looting path, then you'll obviously know what's along the road. And obviously I know that there's a truck there for a slurp that you can go ahead and get 200 shield that you can go and pick up. My next tip here, as you can see when they had this kid in a box, is always to go ahead and wait for the kid to edit, because a lot of people have got better at Fortnite nowadays, and the way to actually counter this is just by waiting for someone outside the box with a shotgun out, because for some reason they'll even edit even if you're just looking at them. So rather than pulling out your pickaxe to try and mine the wall, the best way to go ahead and go about this is just by shooting at them and waiting for them to come out. Now the next tip here, as you can see what I was just doing, is spraying some people in the lobby and trying to focus people. If you ever feel pressure in arena and you feel like you're getting pressured by a lot of people and there's someone that's in your way for zone that you don't like, for example, the best way to go about this is use whatever you have to spam them with SMGs, AR, whatever you can, and basically try and trigger the lobby to clock onto this kid might be weak or something like that, and then a bunch of people start spraying at the same person, and then when you get like more than 3 people shooting the same person, they're most likely dead. So that's a really great way to clear out anyone if you don't like anyone being in your way. It's just to start spraying at them with an AR and spraying at them continuously to make other people shoot at them too, and then they'll die. As you can see though, currently Arena's in a state where it's obviously new and not a lot of people care, so obviously you want to go ahead and W key. Now this is what I talked about, how we can successfully W key, because obviously we're not going to be losing any arena points for going into these early games in Arena when we're not in the Champions League yet, when we're all in Open League. The best thing to do is just land at a spot that you're somewhat comfortable at and you can W key. Not many of these kids will actually be amazingly good. Some of them will be sweats. Everyone's kind of just mixed at the minute, and it's not really a massive thing. The best thing I have to offer you guys is just to land at a place that you kind of know. So, for example, the Authority is the old middle of the map where I knew, and it was actually the Agency. So the reason I successfully won this place is because I actually knew the old place, and now obviously the new map has been updated. I used to land at the Agency quite a lot, and the Authority is the similar place to the Agency. So obviously with the new map and everything being changed around, try land at spots that you used to land at before. Don't go crazy and go into new spots that you don't know in Arena. That's for solo games. You can do that if you want to go have a look at other places. places, but for arena, land at spots you somewhat know, and the agency and the authorities is a similar place. So I know what to do, how to have my looting path, and it was pretty successful. Then you want to go ahead and push kids by W keying them is by just jumping in their boxes and being an idiot. Now moving on to this next step here, is to always go ahead and actually shoot people when they're running away. This is the best way to get shot, not shot back, and be able to get free kills. As you can see here, I stuck up on this kid, and once again we used that tip from earlier, and the tip was to go ahead and get the first spray off. As you can see there, I went behind that little wall thing, and I actually managed to spray the kid and get a free little couple shots off on this kid. The next tip here, as you can see, going in, as you can see, I just waited for the kid to edit, and then I managed to get a free shot off there. Rather than going in for a pickaxe on the wall, he would have left me vulnerable, but instead I just waited out with my shotgun. The next tip I have for you guys is that if you are ever in a box and you are looting and you know someone else pushing you, forget the loot, just get up on high ground and fight with whatever you had before. Because if you had whatever you had beforehand, if you won with that loot to fight that guy, your loot is clearly good enough to beat another person, so it doesn't always matter. Just sometimes move on, forget the loot, and it's sometimes always better to go ahead and get the high ground and win. This next kid here are actually in a box fight, and obviously this is similar to the agency, so I know how to play this, and I know in these tight scenarios, I just want to go ahead and W key in the box. And that's also why I have a great idea for you guys. If you ever go ahead and actually play arena, and you are in a tight box or something like that, the best way to put someone under pressure is just to W key them, especially in these early days of the new season. A lot of people are not very good in your lobbies, so the best way is just to jump in that box and not be too scared, and it doesn't really matter if you die. But the next situation, if you come into someone that you feel like might be better than you, keep high ground. And as you can see here, I got the high ground on this kid, and eventually I managed to charge up my shotgun. And the reason I won this, if you guys do not know, there's actually a new feature in the new season, which is that you can now charge up your shotgun and have a nice hefty pump if you go ahead and charge it up. I charged up and hit like a 150 on him, and then managed to finish him off with the drum gun. So what I'd go ahead and do is suggest to you guys is to go ahead and try and adapt to the learning curve as soon as possible. Go in creative if needs be, and go ahead and have a play around with some of the guns and work out how they actually work and stuff like that, so then you can go ahead and actually boss up in the games and actually manage to use them to your advantage before other people actually work out how it works too, because that is one of the best ways to win in these early games. Now the next situation here is if you ever get high ground or you're in a battle and you know that you're close to actually the next points. As you can see there, I just sat on high ground until I got top 15 placement, because I actually know off the back of my hand every single placement point and what you get it for. So another really great way is to go ahead and start, go ahead and actually study the actual timetable, not the timetable, what the hell, the point system for when you actually go ahead and get your points, so then you can go ahead and realize when you should play less aggressive. So for example, if you're only 1 kill away from actually the next the next placement point, then go ahead and slow up and go ahead and get that kill, you know what I'm saying. But anyways, as you can see here, it's also to play smarter. This next tip here, as you can see, I needed to rotate into zone, and there was a guy there. A lot of people may have just taken that shot immediately, but I didn't take the shot because that would have been dumb, because then he would have had high ground on me and I would have had to rotate for him for zone. Instead, I waited for him to go ahead and roll down the hill, and then I had high ground, and actually he took advantage of the new whirlpool feature. But also, guys, you don't need to be using features that you don't understand yet. So for example, that guy probably didn't understand that that was actually going to fly him up in the air, which I got a nice free hit on, because obviously he was just free in the open. So guys, another tip I have for you is to always keep high ground, sneak up on people, make sure they're low before you, and then also don't use features in the game in a comp scene where you don't know them fully yet. So for example, I finally worked out the pump feature, so I managed to get another pump off on that guy and use it to my advantage. However, for example, these people here, I had no clue what these things were in the new season. I still don't to this time now, as I actually literally, it's only been a half an hour after recording this gameplay, because I'm trying to bust out so many these videos for you guys. So if you are new, make sure you're subscribing for more arena tips videos. But yeah, as you can see there, I had no clue what those people were, and I just flew away with my grappler, because there's no point fighting them, because I had no clue what they were, and I didn't want to die to them, as it would just be unnecessary, and I could always explore them another time. The next tip here is actually to go ahead and use exploits to your advantage. As you can see here, the exploit there was to go ahead and place 2 walls on top of the ramp, and then just go ahead and spray down, and you'll go ahead and actually go through the ramp. Now, the reason I won that fight was actually using this exploit, and now exploits aren't always that bad. Exploits such as like the double pump back in the like season 3 and stuff like that, people didn't actually, everyone used the double pump, but it was actually classed as an exploit. Things like this, guys, in the game, you're free to use, and you won't really be banned for. Nothing like this is too harmful, but it's just called an exploit, and it maybe is a bit frowned upon. But honestly, if you're in an arena scene and you're trying to get that kill and going to get them points, it's really not worth it. It really is worth it, sorry, because who cares at the end of the day? You got that free kill and you got them free points. So honestly, if you know any exploits, go ahead and use them straight away. I'll actually have a link in the description of a box fighting meta where it actually has a couple exploits in there to show you how to get into people's boxes and whatnot. I have that link in the description. You can go ahead and watch that at the end of this video. But moving forward, as you can see, it was the last guy at this point, and all I had to do was go ahead and finish him off. As you can see, though, a really bad play from me here was actually to use a grappler and fly over. He could have easily got a nice beam on me, but he was, like I said, he isn't very good, so these players you haven't got to worry too much about, because they really didn't have a clue what he was doing, so he could have beamed me out the eye, but he didn't. And then he went up for high ground, and obviously you do not want to be losing your high ground in these fights, so I went up for my high ground, made a simple edit on him, and dropped that final kill, guys. So yeah, if you are new and you have made it to the end of the video, then make sure to go ahead and drop a like on the video. It really helps me out, helps me get recommended. Also, make sure you're subscribing because you've clearly enjoyed the video, and use code Woods in the item shop if you are going to buy the battle pass.